Alright, what is going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk about why it is sometimes actually a good thing to go to the dealership. Now, I'm sure most of you guys are probably already typing in the comment section, you're an idiot if you go to the dealership, they overcharge for everything, they try to sell you things, a complete rip-off, don't go to the dealership, you know, I know, I get it. There's plenty of times for the dealership, they don't do things that are right, or, you know, they overcharge on things. They definitely do, without a doubt. But there are situations where you're better off going to the dealership. And what I've experienced with going out with my car, that's kind of what, you know, inspired me to do this video today, because I'm going to give you a little story here. Now, when I first bought this car, it needed an alignment. I ended up going to, what shop did I go to? I went to, I think, Goodyear to get an alignment done when I first bought my car. They didn't do a good job. My alignment was still off after I had left there. You know, I wasn't happy with the service. I ended up going to, where did I go after that? I went to STS, which is now actually called Mavis. But I ended up going to STS to get an alignment done. Once again, they didn't really do that great of a job doing my alignment. It was still off. So after the third time of getting my alignment done, pretty much within a year of getting, you know, my car, I ended up going to the Ford dealership. I was like, you know what? I'm like, it's their car. I mean, they built these things. I'm almost certain Ford should know how to align their own car. Well, lo and behold, you know, they made my alignment absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong with it. The alignment is great, and it was good for a while. Until, you know, I live in Jersey, so there's some potholes, stuff on the ground. I mean, your alignment, you really should get an alignment done once a year, especially live like where I live, where there's a bunch of potholes and stuff. You should really get an alignment once a year. But recently my alignment was a little off. Nothing crazy, but I did notice it was off slightly. And I have some expensive tires on here. You know, I got AS3 Pluses on there. They're not exactly the cheapest tires. They are Michelin, so I want to keep them in good shape. I don't want to be getting shoulder wear, and I don't want my tires wearing out. You know what I mean? I want to keep them nice. So I was like, alright, good. Let me go get an alignment done. Not a big deal. I'll go right back to the Ford dealership, do it. You know, not a problem. I go to the dealership. They tell me they cannot do my alignment because, you know, my left inner tie rod was seized. So I was like, okay, not a big deal. I bought both the tie rods. I bought both sides. My passenger side was fine, but they said I needed a driver. I figured for $25 for the inner tie rod, I'll just buy both of them and just do both sides. So they're done at the same exact time. So I did that. I didn't get that done at the dealership. I just bought the parts there, because that is something that, you know, I wouldn't get done at a dealership. I wouldn't pay money to have them install that. But you can pretty much get it installed anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not that complicated to install tie rods. So whatever, long story short, I got the tie rods installed. And once you get tie rods installed, you know, it does affect your alignment. You have to adjust them. That's part of the alignment itself. You know, you have to spin them, move them. So after they got installed, my alignment was off even more than what it was originally when I went there, and then they told me they couldn't do it. So instead of going back to the dealership, I decided to go to a place that offers a special. I have a Costco membership, and they offer a special where if you have a Costco membership, they give you like 15 or like 20% off of like certain work. I think it's under like a certain amount, like under $500 or whatever, you get money taken off. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I got a Costco membership, you know, I'll try this place out. Instead of paying $110 at the dealership, I'll pay, you know, $80 or something, which is what it came out to. I think it came out to like $81. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm saving $30, should be good. And once again, going to a place to get my alignment done, they just cannot seem to get my alignment. I don't know if it's a Ford thing. I don't know if it's just I have bad luck with the shops that I go to. But anytime I have ever tried to get an alignment for this car, besides Ford, no one can get it done. I've only gone to one Ford dealership. I haven't gone to any other Ford dealership, so maybe just the dealership that I'm going to knows what they're doing. But I'll tell you what, anytime I have ever gone to get an alignment done on this car, it has never been successful besides actually going to the Ford dealership. Now, my alignment, when I went to the place recently, the alignment, I don't know how to, I don't actually really know quite honestly how it works that much, but if you took your hands off the wheel, the car would drive straight, but my actual steering wheel was like crooked. Like, you know, here's the wheel here, it was like slightly off, you know, it was kind of crooked, so it wasn't aligned. So if you held the steering wheel, obviously you can't tell now because the car's completely, but whatever. I mean, the steering wheel wasn't that dramatic, but it was on an angle, and the steering wheel should be, I don't know, at least for me, I want the steering wheel to be straight, you know, with this trim right in here. If this around the steering wheel matches with that, the steering wheel's straight, it's true, and it's good. You know, they didn't do that. They, like I said, if you took your hands off the wheel, it actually did drive pretty straight. But the problem was my steering wheel's off, and I don't know, that just drives me nuts. I like my steering wheel to be straight. I mean, maybe I have OCD, I don't know, but like, I'm sorry, that is not a proper alignment job. And that's pretty much how it's gone for any place that I've ever gotten this thing aligned. In fact, Goodyear, they didn't even get it aligned. It was still off. My steering wheel was off, and my alignment itself was off. So, Goodyear, they did a fantastic job. I don't even, they're a long story with Goodyear. I don't even get involved with them. But, you know, anytime I've ever gone to the Ford dealership, they always get it as straight as an arrow, absolutely perfect. Now, they do charge more. I just got it done today, and I paid $130, which actually is kind of quite a bit to get an alignment done. I will say it is kind of expensive, but I'll tell you what, I think it's completely worth the money. I would rather spend an extra $40 on a job and have it be done right than save $40 and have to pay for it again. Because now I'm out, let's see, if I paid $80, $130, I'm out $210. Instead, I could have just been out originally $130. But instead, I tried to go the cheap route, go to somewhere else to get my alignment done, pay the you know, $80 with my savings on my Costco membership, and well, it didn't really save me any money because now I'm back at getting another alignment done. So, you know, that's just a story right there where I think it was, you know, a good situation to actually bring it to the dealership. You know, there's been times where there's been like a little noise in my car or something weird, and I brought it to the dealership. They were able to diagnose what the noise was, and I either got a fix there, or, you know, I ended up just knowing what the problem was and getting it resolved at some other time, going somewhere else or whatever. But there is times where it definitely pays going to the dealership. One time I brought my car there. What did I bring it there for? I don't remember. I brought my car there for something, and they actually did warranty work that you know, the recall work that needed to be done. They actually replaced my LCM, which was nice. I didn't even go there asking to get my LCM replaced. They just did it because it was under recall. But, you know, I didn't ask them to do that. If you went somewhere else, they wouldn't have replaced my LCM. Now, granted, obviously, another shop isn't responsible. The Ford dealership's responsible. You know, any dealership would be responsible for a recall, not a, you know, a mom and pop shop, you know what I mean? But it's still the fact that, like, I went there and they just did something a little bit extra just to, you know, just make my car a little bit better, you know what I mean? It wasn't something I even asked for, because I didn't even care about the LCM because I had gotten mine rebuilt on eBay for like $40. So my LCM was fine, but they decided to put a new one in there. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, put it in, you know, I don't care. It's a brand new LCM, I could care less. But, you know, I definitely think there's times where it pays to go to the dealership. At least for my car, I don't know. I've had nothing but pretty much good experiences going to the dealership. I will say sometimes they can kind of be like rude sometimes at the place that I go. I don't know, you know, but they're always really busy. I think that's just why. Sometimes I think you just get overwhelmed, and then, you know, sometimes they give me a little bit of an attitude. But other than that, I don't know. I think if you're going to be going to a dealership, you need to know what they're going to try to sell you or what they're going to try to do to you. Like, there's been times they tried to sell me on things. Like, in fact, when I went there and they told me, you know, that they couldn't do the alignment, they told me I need new sway bar end links and that I need sway bar bushings. I don't need sway bar bushings. My sway bar end links are newer too. I think they're a little torn up, but they still work fine. But the sway bar bushings, all I had to do was literally just take the two bolts out on each bushing, pull it off. I got some like greased it back up and put it back on. There's no reason to replace those bushings. So right there, they're trying to just sell me bushings and, you know, charge me for front end work that I don't need. You know, so there are times where they try to sell you on things, but you just need to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I think there's times where you're better off just paying the extra $50, you know, $60, whatever it is on a job, and just getting it done at the dealership and having someone that actually physically works on their own car, like every day, works on that make and model of car, and, you know, that's their job. Whether you got a Honda, you know, Chrysler, whatever it is you're working on, sometimes you need to go to a specialist that just deals with that product. Unless you can find a shop that specializes in, like, in your car. Like in my situation, I might be able to find like a, you know, a fleet shop that works on, like, you know, police cars, or works on like taxi cabs, you know, something like that, like fleet vehicles, and they know a lot about these cars. You know what I mean? That'd be another good solution for me too. I'm sure they know a lot of things that the Ford dealership might not even know. But for the most part, if you just have a regular, you know, a regular car that you're using, like the Buick Verano there, you know, there's not really a specialty shop for Buick Veranos. There isn't someone that's like, oh yeah, we only work on Buick Veranos. You know, you're not going to really find anything for this, but, like there's PowerstrokeHelp.com. He's like, you know, he's got a YouTube channel, Powerstroke Help. I forget the name of his shop. It's, Powerstroke Specialties or whatever it is. That man is one of the best mechanics I've ever seen in my entire life. The things that him and his guys have figured out at his shop are just unbelievable. They do a better job than a Ford dealership or probably any other diesel shop could ever do. He does absolute great work. I mean, if I had a diesel truck, I would definitely go to him. He definitely knows what he's talking about. But, you know, there's a good example of, you know, like a mom and pop shop that can do a good job. So, I mean, there are times where, you know, going to the dealership isn't your best option. But I'm saying for the most part, there's times where you need to go to the dealership and just really have them figure it out, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that built this car. They're going to know it better than any other place you're going to go. At least that's just my personal opinion on it. That's the luck that I've had, at least with getting my alignments done. Because anytime, like I said, I've tried to get an alignment done anywhere else, it has never been done right, ever. Literally, never been done right. When I got an alignment done on that car, I didn't go to GM. I ended up just getting it done at like a tire shop. They did a pretty good job on that car. So I got an alignment done on the Jeep. They did okay. It's still a little off, but it's understandable because my front end isn't perfect. So I kind of understand why it's not like perfect. So I'm perfectly okay with my steering wheel still being a little off, because my steering wheel has play and everything else. So it's perfectly understandable. But for this, I'm telling you, I don't know if it's the way this car is designed. I don't know what it is, but it's been nothing but a nightmare trying to get this thing aligned. So, I don't know, that's kind of just my little thing, you know, I wanted to just throw out there. That, you know, don't, I don't say don't believe the hype, but don't believe what everyone says about, oh, don't go to the dealership, they're rip-offs, and they'll try to take money from you, and the stealership. Listen, I get it. They do try to do those things. You know, there are shady, you know, mom and pop shops too that do the same exact thing. You know, it's the same exact thing as the dealerships. You really need to know what you're doing when you go into there. That's pretty much all you need to know at the end of the day. It's just like, when you're going there, you need to know what you need to do, and that's it. They try to sell you on other things, just don't do it. You know, or tell them you think about it another time. Tell them just to give you a laundry list of things you need repaired, and look at them yourself and kind of figure out what you need. But, alright, that's it, guys. Some real cruddy weather here today. As you can see, it's just been like raining and misting all day. Everything's wet, but that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video, and take care.